Hey there, Twisted Sage here, son at shit. um, oh darn, I think it's four. Let's see, six. Sorry, jump out of the gate right. Well, the moon's at 17 degrees Taurus. Jesus here is at like 6 degrees of Capricorn. All right, it's a little heavy. I think it's 4 degrees Capricorn. And have you heard the good news? Jesus has returned. So that's where the whole Christmas comes from. Is, if you will, the theoretical death of the sun. So at 29 degrees of Sag, which the sun likes to be in Sagittarius, his last moment in fire. And subsequently here in the northern hemisphere, that's also that's also when we have the least amount of sunlight in the northern hemisphere. But they say there's like a balsamic period, a point in which the sun doesn't gain any daylight for 3 days. And so thus on that third day is the resurrection of Christ. Christ has risen, the birth of, that's when the sun starts to gain its strength after that point. Up until the summer solstice, the sun gains daylight each day up until the summer solstice, 6 months away from that point. So that is the astrological reason that Christmas is celebrated. The Christians took it from pagan traditions and made it Christmas, the birth of Jesus. But we all know how the memory of a human is and how stories go. Even the best way you can take a happening that happened and explain it in words, it's there's details missed or exaggerations that occur. So you can imagine, after so much time, a story's going to seem a little more like a fantasy than a reality, perhaps. I myself am more reassured that that's Jesus, and it's not some human being, anyways. Because hell, do I even talk about humans? All right, so yesterday last transmission I spoke of moon in Taurus surprises. I didn't pay attention to world news. For myself, if you remember in my videos, I talked about having to fix a bunch of shit on my truck. One happened to be my heater core. Main reason, it was leaking radiator fluid all over my floorboard. But my heater was working fine. And on one of the coldest mornings, so my surprise was my heater not working anymore. If I leave it on low, it does mist out hot air. But if I turn it on, for some reason it goes lukewarm. And at 9 degrees Fahrenheit, that's not going to cut it for keeping your feet warm. Anywho, so that was my beautiful surprise. Also on the way to work yesterday, there was I guess it was a car accident. I turned around to avoid being stopped in traffic and took a detour. Yeah, I don't know what happened in world news, but I kind of was expecting something to jump out as a surprise due to the moon conjuncting Uranus, but also more so the quick square to Saturn and Jupiter. And then once the Uranus is at 6 degrees of Taurus, so the moon's a good 10 degrees of orb away from that point now. So the rest of this moon is going to be, I would say, sturdy and stable, because it's going to come into trine with Pluto. Well, let's see. Moon trine Pluto. The element wise, it's stable. Planetary wise, and the moon might not want to be fucking around with Pluto, but I guess this might be the first Taurus moon that we've had without Saturn and Jupiter being in my mom in Capricorn. So now she just gets to meet up with Pluto. So that is definitely going to be a different flavor for her. But that's why the way I transmission, again, the moon being one of the easiest ways to see that the planets and stars affect us. And the moon controls that mood. The mood swings, the moment. So this is an exalted moon. So for the most part, maybe now that it's past the conjunction of Uranus, there really shouldn't be any surprise action. Oh yeah, last video I was complaining about my knees, and that moon conjunct Mars in Aries was directly squaring my Venus, the planet that rules over the kidneys. And then they were both battling with my Saturn and battling with my Pluto in Libra. Libra, the sign that rules the kidneys. And, you know, I'm not trying to voice things into existence, but, yeah, I've been battling, quote unquote, if you want to call it gout, which is a kidney dysfunction. Kidneys not doing their job. Well, I guess I'm still not out of the waters yet, but ever since the moon left that conjunction with Mars, to Mars squaring my Venus, the last 2 days have been far more pleasant physically. And actually regaining some old happiness with this job. Last couple of years have been kind of draining emotionally. Loss of the magic. But I'm appreciating it right now, and I am good at what I do. So, you know, if you don't have joy in this life, why even be here, right? That's how I look at it. Oh yeah, what was so I spoke my first lesson. I had 2 Aquarian boys. Yesterday I had, bless it, what was it? Okay, yesterday I had a big family, I had 6 skiers. And, well, one of the daughters had an Aquarius moon, but they had a little boy that wasn't in lesson. He was 7. And this was kind of neat for me. And he wanted to be part of the action, but he wasn't part of the group. And he happened to be an Aquarius, early degree. So like January 23rd, which would put his basically, and there's a chance he'd be 29 degrees Capricorn, but there's also a really good chance he's 0 degree Aquarius. Either way, very special that to have met someone perhaps born with the planetary alignment, the grand conjunction right on their sun. And he kept drawing my attention. It was like he could see the light and magic in me. And he, at the end, I'm putting their equipment away, and he says, He's like, you look like Thor. I was like, yeah, I am the god of thunder. But I forget Chris Hemsworth's chart. I know he's got some Virgo and some Scorpio, but he perhaps is he might be an Aquarius, a Leo rising. So therefore, the first thing I thought when he said, you look like Thor, was I knew that Chris Hemsworth had a Leo rising. He's either a Leo sun or a Leo rising. And so I was like, righteous. That definitely was a bit of a highlight for me. Today, I thought I had an Aquarius. I was trying to, facial feature wise, I was like, wait, I see Aquarius in him. And really happened to be a Leo. So yeah. All right. Yeah, so good news. Jesus has returned and he's fixing to perish for the night and be reborn the next day. All right. Merry Christmas.